Alright friends, today we will be selling our dear souls to the cogs of capitalism to have the ability to pour our sweet hard-earned money to our favorite meme stocks. Now let's say you come up with a really great startup idea that can make you a ton of money, but wait, you're not quite there because you need to have a way to get the money from your customers, and if you can't do that, well, you have no money. Well, there is one solution that you can make your own payment processing system, but even if you have the energy and the will to not sleep while doing that, you're gonna have the problem of your customers actually trusting you and not thinking they're giving their credit card information to a scammer. Now, hopefully I have convinced you to use a payment platform, and if you want to use a payment platform, you should look for three major features. One of them that it should be cheap so that you don't lose a lot of money. The other one is that the payment platform should be well known so that the customers will trust you, and the other one is that it should be really easy to use so that you can set it up and start using it. And then the plan is to make as much money as you can. A platform that really fits the descriptions that I just said is Stripe, and that's what we'll be using today. Here we start our HTML for the front end, and in the head we start by importing Stripe for the actual logic that we have, and Bootstrap so that it's a little bit more easy on the eyes. Next, we go ahead and put a button and an input for getting the email from our users and creating a subscription for them and to redirect them to our Stripe checkout page. Here, we will start our Stripe by instantiating using the public API key that you can find in your Stripe account. Then we continue by getting the button that we created and start listening to it when it's clicked. Now, when the button is clicked, we get the email that we got from the user, and then we're going to send that email to our server. We're going to talk about the server in the future, but the server basically returns a token, and we're going to use that token to pass it on to the Stripe server that we do not build on our own. And basically, that's going to know what type of checkout it needs to make for our customer. Now, in our server, we first import all the packages that are needed, and then we need to make the discount that we want to give to our user. The next step would be to add the user email as a meta tag to both the subscription and to the actual user. And that is because you can use that meta tag to basically add any additional information that you want to either the subscription or to the user, and you can see both of them here. For adding the information to the user, we first need to create it, but after that, it's pretty straightforward to add the meta information to the user. Creating the final token is pretty easy. You just need to have the customer ID, which link you want the customer to go to, if it succeeds or if they cancel, what type of payment you want to get, what is the actual price idea of your product, how many of them you want, what is their free trial period, and the meta information that you added. Just note that the price ID is what you get when you create a product on the Stripe webpage. We're gonna go through that really soon. And here we just return the information of the token in an HTTP accessible endpoint. Now let's say you want to modify the logic that the Stripe already has at one of the steps. You don't have to change the code at all. You can subscribe to the events using webhooks. Here we're going to do the same, and you're going to see how you can log out the name of the users that has subscribed to your subscriptions when their subscription is actually created. You can do this at any step that you want. Just going through the events that Stripe has in its document, you can choose any step from the payment being processed or the payment being rejected, and you can add logic at any step that you want. Here we see a bunch of utility functions that are not specific to Stripe, and one that is specific to Stripe. The one that is specific to Stripe is basically responsible for getting the request from the webhook and turning it into a Stripe event. And we also have one function that is responsible for the cross-origin request being accepted. Since we have a front end that is separate from our backend, we need this to allow the front end and the browser to know that it's okay that they are sending requests to our backend. This basically takes in the functions that we've already made and puts a wrapper on them, allowing the browser to know it's okay that they're sending a request to this server. Here we finally make our server. This is really easy to do. We just have to instantiate the Stripe using the private key that we get from Stripe, make your router, and redirect all the requests to the functions that we've made. If this is your first time with Stripe, you might be a little bit lost on how to get the keys. Here is how you get the keys. You go to your dashboard, you go to your API keys. As you can see here, you can get your publishable key, which is your front end, and then you can see your secret key, which is for your backend. Make sure that you do not give your secret key on your GitHub or to someone else because it's really important. Also, as you remember, we also used two things in our backend code, one of them being the actual price ID of our product in order to make the checkout page. Also, we needed our coupon, and if you go to the coupon page, you can make a new coupon on the bottom on the top of the screen, and if you go to the coupon, you can see the ID of the coupon that you need to use in your backend. Now, usually you have your backend up and running on a server that you can send your requests to, but if not, you can install Stripe on your own device and make it so that you pull the request to your own device instead of sending it to a new server. Here is how you can do it. You can see the information for Windows, and if you go down, you can see how you can log in to your Stripe account on your own device. Now let's try out our application. First, start running the backend server that we've made together. Next, you want to log into the Stripe application that we downloaded and reroute all the requests to the URL that we have locally, and then go to your front-end application and start your application using an email that you want, and then you can choose any type of payment that you want, either Google Pay or add 42 42 42 42 42 until the end for the credit card information as a sample credit card, and then you'll be good to go. Here you can see that we succeeded in our payment and we're redirected to the YouTube page. Now we can see all the logs and all the events in our backend. We can also see the email that we used for our user, even though it was not the same email that we used for the payment because we passed that email as a meta tag. Well, thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked what you saw, and please make sure to watch my other videos if you're interested in Golang and in full stack development, and please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you already haven't, and share this video. It'll really help the channel, and thanks again for watching.